Millions of people have watched Kevin Watson's final moments. The video has been viewed, shared, analyzed by strangers across the world. His sister knows exactly what happened to her brother. Police have surveillance footage, witness statements, even the crime captured on camera. But 3 months later, his killer is still out there, and the reason why will break your heart. 42-year-old Kevin Watson, known to everyone as Tugg, is doing what he loves most, talking to his followers on Facebook Live from his car in Chicago's South Austin neighborhood. Watson is an entrepreneur who promotes parties, clubs, shoes, and dress clothes. His big lips and smile are always the first thing someone notices when he arrives anywhere. "My brother was the goofiest, the funniest, the most liveliest person I know," his younger sister Talitha later says. He was there in the present for these kids, for his family. But Kevin Watson's life hasn't always been easy. He was jailed when he was 15 years old. The experience changed him. He often tells his 7-year-old son, his nieces, and nephews not to follow in his footsteps. "We have some relatives going off to college right now, honors program children who are into sports because of him," Talitha explains. "He came back into the community, and that's who he went for, the kids and the teenagers. I've had people walk up to me to tell me that my brother helped them and their kids, and I didn't even know some of these people," Talitha says. Watson refers to himself as an elder in the community, mediating disputes and offering guidance to younger residents. Today, August 13th, is just another day for Tugg. He leaves a liquor store owned by his cousin and heads to his car in a parking lot on the 5000 block of West Madison Street. It's 6:14 p.m. He starts his Facebook Live session from inside his vehicle. His followers tune in, ready to hear what Tugg has to say today. Nobody knows these will be his last words. Watson is sitting in his car, midstream, when a white vehicle pulls up. Seconds later, a masked man leans out of the passenger window, gun in hand. The Facebook Live video shows Watson in his car when the assailant approaches.
I say, listen, bro, if they do come, let us park right here, you feel me? If they do come get me, we'll move the car so they can get the space. We will move our car, whatever car we need so they can get the space, just let us get the park. So now oh no, we can't do that. No, you just gotta find somewhere else to park. Who the fuck is you talking to? You feel me? Like, who the fuck is you talking to for real, even talking like that? Like, that be the shit, and that's what make a motherfucker be wanting to get into it with y'all, because y'all ain't got no respect. What's up, bro? What's up? Hell no.
The situation escalates in seconds. According to police reports, the suspect demands his chain. Watson says, "Take the chain." Then, "Hell nah," as he steps outside of his car. The blast of an apparent gunshot can be heard, followed by the sound of an engine revving. A single gunshot rings out. The camera continues rolling as Watson collapses outside the car. The live stream doesn't stop. Watson is heard taking his last breaths outside the vehicle. The live feed captures the tragic sequence of events, documenting the chaos and confusion in the immediate aftermath. Viewers watch in horror, unable to do anything but call for help. Lamar Spencer, a close friend and witness, rushes to Watson's side. "I rubbed his palm and I squeezed his hand, and he wouldn't squeeze back," he later recalls. Jacquez Smith, Watson's cousin who owns a nearby store, arrives at the scene. He was choking for breath. He was trying to struggle to breathe, Smith says through tears. Responding officers find Watson suffering from a gunshot wound to the chest. Despite being rushed to Mount Sinai Hospital, Watson is pronounced dead at 6:52 p.m., just 38 minutes after the shooting began. Watson's sister, Shamika Watson, says she was with her brother just an hour before the shooting. After they part ways, Shamika runs errands and returns to Madison Street, where her brother is known to hang out. She notices cars in the parking lot where he usually is found, but ends up riding past a commotion. After she gets home, she starts getting calls from people on Facebook telling her to return to Madison Street because something happened to her brother while he was on Facebook Live. Talitha Watson, Kevin's younger sister, scrambles to Mount Sinai Hospital after getting a call saying that Kevin had been shot while streaming on Facebook Live. I saw red and yellow tape up, and I knew automatically it wasn't nothing good, Shamika recalls. By the time she arrives, her brother is in an ambulance. The family gathers at the hospital where they speak with homicide detectives, and doctors tell them he passed away. Watson was well known in clubs and in the community. He liked doing Facebook Lives to talk about his life and previously hosted podcasts. Those close to him say Watson loved cars, music, and socializing, often broadcasting live videos to his followers. His online presence was a mix of humor, opinion, and snapshots of his day-to-day life. Watson leaves behind a 7-year-old son. He loved his son, his nieces and nephews, as if they were his own, especially after the rough times he had when he was younger. He loved kids and wanted to teach them there was a nonviolent way to live life. He was a good man. No matter what he'd done, he helped people. His cousin Jacques says, "He helped me get this job in here." But there's something about Kevin Watson that many people don't know. When approached by the gunman, Kevin Watson stepped out of his car to fight instead of using a gun, and the gunman opted to shoot him instead. He gave them a pass, and I want people to know that he gave them the chance to fight like men, Talitha explains. Even in his final moments, Watson refused to be the person he once was. He chose not to fight violence with violence. It cost him his life. Chicago Police Department officials say detectives from area were investigating the killing as a targeted robbery. While early witness accounts suggest a parking dispute might have been the initial trigger, authorities now believe the motive was specifically to steal Watson's jewelry. Shamika Watson believes her brother was targeted for his chain necklace that said Tugg, his nickname. The Tugg chain was found on the ground at the scene. They wanted his chain. They got it, and they took his life in the process. Alvin Jackson, a close friend and eyewitness, says Watson was initially seen speaking to a man before getting into his car. The situation escalated quickly as the suspect pulled a gun. He was trying to wrestle with the gun, and the gun went off, Jackson recounts. Surveillance footage from nearby businesses reportedly shows the suspect wearing a black ski mask and leaning out of the passenger window of a white car before fleeing toward the Eisenhower Expressway. Police have evidence. They have the Facebook Live video watched by millions. They have surveillance footage. They have eyewitnesses. They have the murder weapon's trajectory. They even have the Tugg chain left at the scene. But there's one thing they don't have. No arrests have been made as of August 14th, and police are urging witnesses to come forward with any information that could identify the assailant. August 14th becomes August 15th. Then weeks pass. Then months. No arrests or charges have been filed in the fatal shooting. Authorities continue to investigate. As of November 2025, 3 months after Kevin Watson was murdered on camera in front of millions of witnesses, his killer remains free. Shamika believes her brother was targeted by someone he knew. "My brother trusted too many people." In the video that was brought to my attention by a couple of friends, he even said after they shot him, he said, "They backdoored me," meaning the people in his crowd did it to him. "My brother kept himself up. He loved to dress. He loved to look nice, and a lot of people hated on him for that." She continues. "He had a nice car and jewelry, so there was a lot of hate." The family believes someone in Watson's circle knows who did this. But in South Austin, talking to police can be dangerous. This isn't an isolated incident. This killing is the second homicide on the same block in just 48 hours. About 1:30 p.m. on Tuesday, 26-year-old Brandon Maxey is driving in a black sedan near West Madison Street and North Laverne Avenue, across the street and a few steps east from where Watson was killed, when another car pulls up alongside him and its passengers start to fire. Maxey is shot multiple times and is pronounced dead at Mount Sinai Hospital less than an hour later. Officers at the scene recover at least 40 shell casings, including at least 2 types of rifle rounds. No one is in custody for either slaying. 2 murders, same block, 48 hours, 0 arrests. South Austin is no stranger to gun violence. The area consistently ranks among the highest for shootings and homicides in Chicago. Community advocates point to long-standing socioeconomic challenges, including poverty, limited access to jobs, and underfunded public services, as contributing factors to the ongoing violence. The proximity of these crimes to the mayor's neighborhood has fueled frustration among residents, many of whom feel that city leadership is failing to prioritize safety in their communities. Calls for increased police presence, better lighting, and more investment in local youth programs have intensified in the wake of Watson's death. So far in 2025, there have been 206 fatal shootings in Chicago and 933 non-fatal shootings. Kevin Watson is one of over 200 people killed by gun violence in Chicago in 2025. But his death is different. The world watched it happen in real time. The video, viewed millions of times, captures the final moments of a man who was just talking to his followers 1 second and fighting for his life the next. The video of Watson's final moments spreads quickly after being amplified by popular accounts, including a post that garners over 1.7 million views within 24 hours. Online reactions range from grief to outrage to heated debates about violence in Chicago.
I keep saying the same thing, especially if you're a street dude or you got some kind of beef. You should never be on live in public places where somebody could watch you live and know exactly where your background is and know where you at and pull up on you. I don't know why people keep doing this.
What's insane to me is how somebody can take a life or lose their life for something as, I'm sorry, crappy jewelry. It's just jewelry. And just like how I mentioned also in my post earlier today, you never know the day or the time. Things can go from good to bad to ugly in the split of a second, the blink of an eye.
A large portion of responses expressed shock and sorrow, with many calling the act pure evil and urging police to make swift arrests. In the hours following the incident, tributes poured across social media, with friends sharing memories, posting photos, and demanding justice. Community leaders and activists are calling for justice, but also for change. When do we as a community start calling ourselves out for all these unnecessary killings? One Twitter user asks. Others are pleading for witnesses to come forward in hopes that someone will speak up. But in a city where snitching can be dangerous, silence often wins. Millions have seen Kevin Watson die, but no one is coming forward with information that leads to an arrest. Watson's killing raises broader questions about public safety in visible, communal spaces. A robbery in broad daylight, streamed live online, suggests a level of brazenness that residents say reflects a deteriorating sense of security in the area. Watson's death highlights a disturbing trend in Chicago, the brazenness of these crimes. The shooters don't seem to care that they're being recorded, that their faces, or at least their masks, are on camera, or that the entire internet will witness their cruelty. It's as if the fear of consequences has evaporated. Think about that for a moment. This killer approaches a man on Facebook Live, knowing he's being filmed, knowing millions might see this, knowing there are witnesses everywhere, and he still pulls the trigger. Why? Because he doesn't fear getting caught. In a city where shootings happen daily, justice often moves slowly, if it comes at all. Freddie Collier, another friend of Watson, says, "We're going to have to figure out how to move on and be strong day to day to help each other get past this, because this didn't just hurt one person." But for Watson's family, moving on feels impossible. They can't escape what happened. The video is everywhere. That familiarity with live streaming makes the public nature of his death even more shocking to those who knew him. Every time someone shares it, the family relives that moment. Every comment, every view, every analysis. They see their brother, their father, their uncle dying over and over again in an endless digital loop. Watson's family is left to mourn. His 7-year-old son left to grow up without a father. His son will one day be old enough to search his father's name online, and he'll find the video. He'll see exactly how his father died. That's the reality they're living with. As of November 2025, 3 months have passed since Kevin Watson was murdered on Facebook Live. Despite surveillance footage, witness statements, and recovered evidence being used by Area 4 detectives as they pursue leads, no arrests have been made, and no suspect descriptions have been officially released. Police say they're investigating, but as of August 15th, no arrests have been made. Area 4 detectives continue reviewing surveillance footage and witness statements. The investigation continues. Detectives are working leads. The family waits. The community mourns. And somewhere in Chicago, Kevin Watson's killer walks free. How does someone commit murder on camera and not get caught? How does a case with this much evidence go unsolved? How does a family find closure when the world watched their loved one die? But justice never comes. Despite the viral spread of the footage, amassing over 2 million views, no arrests have been made, and the motive remains believed to be robbery. The evidence exists. The video has been watched millions of times. But none of it matters if no one comes forward. None of it matters if witnesses stay silent. None of it matters if the killer is never identified. Kevin Watson isn't just another statistic. To those who knew him, he was a father, a friend, and a local figure who had to share struggles but was trying to move forward. He was trying to break the cycle of violence in his community. He was mentoring young people. He was telling them not to make his mistakes. He was being the father, uncle, and community elder he wished he'd had. And for that, he died over a chain, a piece of jewelry, a symbol, something that could be replaced. Kevin Watson cannot be replaced. His story is a painful addition to Chicago's long history of gun violence, a story that keeps repeating itself, with different names but the same tragic ending. And until something changes, until the cycle is broken, there will be more Kevin Watsons, more live streams cut short by gunfire, and more families left asking why. Kevin Watson chose not to carry a gun that day. He chose not to fight violence with violence. He chose to step out of his car and face his attacker like a man. That choice cost him his life. But that choice also showed who he truly was. He gave them a pass, and I want people to know that he gave them the chance to fight like men, his sister Tellita says. Even at the end, Kevin Watson was trying to be better than the violence that surrounded him. Today, Kevin Watson's family continues to demand answers. They continue to hope someone will come forward. They continue to believe that justice will eventually be served. For now, all anyone can do is remember him, not just as a victim, but as a man who had a name, a story, and people who loved him. His name was Kevin Watson. His friends called him Tugg. He was 42 years old. He was a father to a 7-year-old boy. He was a brother, an uncle, a friend, a community mentor. He loved dressing nice, promoting parties, making people smile. He was trying to turn his life around. He was trying to save kids from making his mistakes. And on August 13th, 2025 at 6:14 p.m., in a parking lot in South Austin, Chicago, his life was stolen from him over a chain. The world watched. Millions saw it happen. But 3 months later, no one has been held accountable. And maybe, just maybe, his death will be the one that finally makes people stop and say, enough. If you have any information about Kevin Watson's murder, Chicago Police Area 4 detectives are urging you to come forward. Kevin Watson's 7-year-old son deserves to know his father's killer was caught. His sisters deserve closure. His family deserves justice. Kevin Watson's death is not just another statistic. It's a devastating reminder of the fragility of life in the digital age. His final moments were broadcast for all to see. His grief, his struggle, his death, all captured and shared. Now it's time for someone to speak up. It's time for justice. It's time for Kevin Tugg Watson to finally rest in peace. Because right now, somewhere in Chicago, his killer is still free. And that's not justice. That's just another tragedy in a city that's seen too many.